Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast. I'm Maddie, and I'm here with Jill,
Brandon,
Sam.
That was a little delayed. My bad.
How many times you been on here, Joe?
I know.
It's third or fourth?
It's the third time.
Okay,
third time.
Third time.
Second time we're like, we could let it slide, but third time is like kind of crazy that you don't know your own name.
I don't think she messed up the third time. I mean, the second time.
No,
I know, it's
didn't.
weird. So why you mess up
I
now?
know.
What's going on?
I don't know.
Okay.
That's my fault, though.
She's on the streak.
You have PJ sweatpants on?
No,
They look very comfortable.
they are. They're just
It's like
waffle sweats.
The little linen suits that they sell on Shein, little two-piece outfits.
Mhm.
That's what it's giving.
They look very comfortable.
Oh, that's what I wear usually.
Oh,
Yeah.
is pants?
Yeah.
That's good.
Well,
So
in
you're
the
not Winnie the
winter.
Poohing around.
Well, not when I'm working because I'm scared that I'll stand up during a meeting. And that happened like the first year of the pandemic. That guy, well, I think he was doing something else. And then he got caught.
Wait, that's something else?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think he was doing it during the meeting. He didn't know he had his camera on.
So what happened? Like, it was just like he was like, all right, everybody, we're going to take a break.
Yeah, I feel like it was a break thing. He thought he turned his camera off. He didn't. People could see exactly what he was doing.
Oh, and it was real. This was real?
I think yeah. They say he got fired from it.
Okay, because
Oh,
I thought it was a skit. Because
I feel
there's like
people
so
have done
many
tons
now,
of
it's like
jokes about
filtered,
it, yeah.
that I don't know which one's which.
that was me. I would have quit. Like
Oh
this
my-
Next
next story.
For
story.
real.
That was good.
Okay, so this first story is, am I the asshole for threatening my wife with divorce after she quit her job to be a Tradwife?
What's a
What's a trad?
Tradwife is short for
Traditional.
traditional wife, like the one who stays home and cooks for you and takes care of the kids, takes care of the house.
I don't like the name of it because before I found out what Tradwife was, I'm like, why did it seems weird for that to be what it is.
Yeah.
You know, I get why they called it that, but like Tradwife seems like a whole weird thing.
I thought it was like triad, like
Yeah, I'm like,
something-
gang
yeah,
affiliated. I was like,
straight.
yeah.
oh, no.
But yeah, it's just a traditional wife.
I always knew it was Tradwife because I'd end up getting like on the TikToks because
Oh,
it's like
Tradwife TikTok.
addicting, like Tradwife TikToks. But then sometimes like they would also infuriate me, like the ones that were like intentional or trying to be aesthetic. I'd be like, oh, this is pretty, this is cool. And then the ones that were unintentional, like, hey, this is me showing me cleaning up the house. And then, you know, it just looks like a tired mom who literally, there was one where it blew up in the way that she was not expecting it because she had COVID, her baby had COVID, her husband was working, so he didn't have COVID, so he stayed on the bottom floor. She stayed on the top floor, and she basically showed what her house looked like after COVID, which is where she still was having a lot of symptoms. So she was like, "It really sucks. Like I have to clean this, but I need to have a better headspace." The husband, even though he was working and was not sick, he didn't clean anything at all. And even when she's cleaning up downstairs, you just see it looks like a huge mess. When she's cleaning up downstairs, the husband is in the background shot, just like watching TV. And it's like stuff like that where not necessarily Tradwife, but where the household work is unequal. That's what makes a lot of people upset because you can obviously see like one partner struggling,
Yeah.
and the other one is just like chilling because they don't have as much responsibilities. But yeah, so
But I don't get why people get mad if you're a trad. Like that's what Tradwives want.
yeah, because there's some people that want to do that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which I'm fine with. If you want to be a Tradwife and do that, then do that.
So this one is, am I the asshole for threatening my wife with divorce after she quit her job to be a Tradwife? I don't even know where to begin with this. Me, 34 male, and my wife, 33 female, have 2 kids together, 11 male and 9 female. Me and my wife have been together for 12 years and married for 8. Around a year ago, I noticed my wife increasingly sending me these Tradwife or traditional housewife TikToks. I have nothing against that type of relationship, but I don't think it makes sense for our current family situation. I do earn quite a bit more than my wife and enough to sustain our family on my own, but I don't see the need to do so. I work 80% and my wife 50%. And besides Wednesdays, where both of us are working, either one of us is always home for the kids. I could work 100% and let my wife be a stay-at-home mom, but again, both of my kids are attending school, and in my mind, there's no need for my wife to be at home 24/7. She got increasingly pushy about it over the past 2 months, and again, I just kept on telling her that there wasn't any need for that, and if we did decide to go down that route, what would she do during the hours my kids attended school? I know damn well our house doesn't need to be cleaned for 6 hours a day. She would constantly try to butter me up with, you would have dinner ready every day when coming home from work, and something about unlimited blowjobs or some BS like that.
Wait, hold on.
Out of pocket.
Again, in the nicest way possible, I would remind her that our kids weren't toddlers and our current work-life schedule allowed us to function perfectly fine. We got into a pretty heated argument 2 weeks ago about it, and my wife completely stopped having sex with me to show me what I was missing out on. She basically has been treating me like a roommate since. I just thought she would get over it and that it was just a phase, but God, was I wrong. I came home from work yesterday and I saw a bunch of presents on the dining room table. At first I thought they were all for me since my birthday was in a week, but then I saw the labels on them were addressed to my wife. I read one of the letters attached to one of the presents. The last sentence on it was literally, "It was so a pleasure working alongside you and I wish all the best moving forward." Oof. I thought this was a sick prank. A few minutes later, my wife just casually strolled into the living room, acting like nothing was wrong. I guess she saw my mad expression and had the audacity to tell me that you'll get over it. I just lost it. I left without saying another word, and I went to my parents' house. I feel absolutely disrespected. Why the fuck would my wife think it was okay to just quit her job without telling me and just expect me to be fine with it? My wife has been bombarding me with texts and calls, demanding to know where I am and that the kids miss me. I just told her to go find a lawyer and that I was done with her and then proceeded to block her. My son sent me a voicemail crying, asking why I was divorcing mom and if I was leaving the family, and I guess that kind of broke my heart. I haven't responded, and honestly, I don't know what to say to him. My mother-in-law has been demanding that I return home and apologize to my wife. My parents also seem to be siding with wife since they are traditional Muslims. My mom also used to be a stay-at-home mom. I feel like I'm wrong for immediately jumping to divorce without hearing her out. And besides this whole job drama, I love my wife too much for this to be the end of our perfect marriage. But on the other hand, I feel like I've just completely lost trust in her. Should I just swallow my pride and let my wife stay at home from now on, or should I follow through on divorcing her? How should I navigate this situation? Am I the asshole here? Ooh, this is really messy.
Yeah, you shouldn't jump straight to divorce.
Yeah, I'm gonna say he's not the asshole.
Tell us why.
I agree with you.
I feel like jobs are something like that you have to talk to your significant other about. And y'all both have to be okay with one person being the breadwinner for the family. And it was very selfish of her to just quit her job and be like, oh, okay, you'll get over it.
Yeah.
Like, no, girl, I'm not about to get over it.
Yeah, I agree. I think I definitely think something big like that with communication and like marriage, even though he said I can support everybody, it's a fact of like just jumping ship and being like, because imagine if he did that to her, where he was like, I quit, you got it. Like, it still feels like it's a really heavy responsibility because there's probably a lot of security that he feels where it's like, I don't have to work as much. I can still spend some time with the kids, you know. Now I might be having to work more, spending less time with them. And I do get what he's saying, where he's like, you know, I don't get to sit around the house for 6 hours a day. Like, what would you be doing? I know there's like, so many things that people do as a stay-at-home mom, right? It's like 4 different jobs in one. You're cooking, you're cleaning, you're taking care of the kids. But if that's not necessarily what he's comfortable with, I feel like it should have been discussed upon. And the fact that he's uncomfortable with it, I think that that's wrong for her to just quit.
Yeah.
What were you going to say?
I feel like she is just bored with her life. And that's why she wants to take up the whole traditional wife thing with social media and stuff. Homegirl probably just need a hobby or something. That's it.
And I mean, even if she potentially wanted to be like, I want to pursue social media as a job, like, if she was like, I like what I'm seeing on social media, I want to do the same with our kids, even if you weren't necessarily, like, you're still showing what you're doing, not what your kids are doing. But if that was something you wanted to show of like, I can make money this way, I can stay at home, potentially make a career off of social media, of people showing people what I do in a day to day. But yeah.
I think to piggyback off of what Jill was talking about, it's also a little bit more problematic because she was very dismissive about the whole thing. Income is something that's very important. Like you're saying, it's something that should be talked about. And the fact that she's like putting the family in a different economic standpoint just because she wanted to, and it's like, you'll get over it. It's like, no, we have a plan for the money. And now you're just saying, oh, you'll get over it. No, that's extra hours.
Yeah.
That's different types of budget. That's different time spent. All this stuff you have to consider.
Something I want to add that I feel like I was missing, like when I was done talking, I was like, I feel like I'm missing something big. I agree with Sam, though. I do not think his first thing should be to jump to divorce.
Yeah, for sure.
Especially like when you have children, when you're married, I feel like it can't just be as easy sometimes. Of course, there's always reasons where divorce is probably the best option immediately. But sometimes, especially something like this, where he even is second guessing himself. He's like, is it that big of a deal? I do think it's a big deal. I do think it's something you should discuss and probably take to therapy. But I think you should try and work on it for a longer period of time before you decide, okay, we can't work on it. We can't agree. I'm going to be upset or she's going to be upset and that we might need to be separated or something. Like, I feel like there's way more things that they could talk about to work through, but I feel like it's a really complicated situation because of their family dynamics, potentially religion, like things that, he has his mother-in-law being like, listen, this is like something that we're used to. This is traditional, like potentially in our family, like just do it.
Yeah.
What's wrong with doing that?
Yeah.
So. Sam, you look like you had something to say.
I mean, that's the point where I come from. It's especially hearing how they're talking about in the story about, even though I do get annoyed by Reddit always saying that, they're like, we have a perfect relationship except for this big thing that is very, that hurts us and all that stuff. But he's saying we have a perfect relationship other than this. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, why would you immediately, like your first step is to leave and then completely get a lawyer and get a divorce? I'm like, that's wild to me. I would try to work on something. I would try to get understanding, tell her why you're angry or why you're disappointed and why she went around the route she did. Because I 100% agree with that. That's crazy just to quit your job and not tell him. Like, even if you told him and like, it doesn't matter what your opinion is, I'm still doing it, that's even better than just doing it without telling anything. So she was completely in the wrong about that. But just immediately getting a divorce from that, to me, is like, at least talk to her. At least try to remedy the situation.
I feel like a lot of those points we were talking about, too, are stuff that you should bring to a therapy session before the divorce.
But I'm like, people do stupid stuff all the time in relationships. I do know, and it comes a lot in our comments, too, is like, sometimes people are like, you guys think it's too easy to be like, oh, you got to work on it. No, sometimes situations are big enough that you can just quit it. I don't always like to go that route because, especially if you have kids, you have a family, you have all this, you built up this whole thing. Why throw that away if you don't have to, if it's not something that's so drastic that you can't recover from this? Mm-hmm. This isn't abuse. This isn't like cheating, stealing from, like, it's not that. So it's something that can be fixed.
It makes me wonder, though, if this is like one of those situations, because obviously, people have said it before. There are a lot of things that we have blind spots on because we are ignorant on a lot of things that we don't know. We're all single, not married people. And it makes me want, like, government-wise, you're either okay. We're not married.
Yeah.
We don't know. Like, it makes me wonder if this is one of those big things that, married couples talk about where it's like, this is a big hurdle that we're going to have to go through because it is like, and maybe I sound silly for saying this, but I think this is one of those big things that you guys go through. It takes, months, however long, to really work through your feelings of like why she wants to be like this and why you want to be the way that you want to be in this situation. And you guys work through it, hopefully, and become a stronger couple. Like, it just seems like it's definitely something that you guys can work through. But I think you're not the asshole for the way that you reacted in the situation.
Right.
Yeah. Because what she did, I don't think was fair. So, and then
but here's my perspective as being a single person not married. like still have an idea of what a relationship is you like there always are going to be issues that happen. There's no perfect relationship. Some might be really big things. Some might be don't put the toilet seat down. Like there's always going to be something. And if your first reaction to things are just to run away, I don't think that's like the healthiest thing to show, not only for your relationship, but now your kids are saying that. You're like, your kids are like looking up to you and like, where'd daddy go? And you're like,
yeah,
he just ran because we didn't talk about it. You don't know what she's telling the kids anyway. Like she was like, yeah, daddy ran because.
Well, we kind of do. We kind of know that she's already told them that we're getting a divorce. Like, I feel like she already was weaponizing the kids against their fight.
And this is going to negatively impact that because that whole situation in general classifies as an adverse childhood experience. So now this could alter their development overall.
Because whether it actually happens or not, they think that mommy and daddy are going to divorce.
Yeah.
They already are freaking out. And they think, you know, he already said, what did you do or what did mom do for you to get a divorce? Like, she's already bringing the kids into the equation, which is even more unfair.
Yeah.
So
She just kind of messed up. Quit her job a week before his birthday.
yeah.
I think another big thing I always
I didn't even
about,
think, yeah, it was a week before his birthday.
Yeah.
She
Another
said
thing
get
I
over it when she saw the presents.
think about is the shoot. No.
Catch it. Is there.
It's there.
Unlimited blowjobs? Is that what you're
Hey, no,
That was crazy.
that was wild.
That's
No.
such a dumb, I hate that.
Yeah, that was
I
stupid.
hate when, because it's usually women to men, because men can't really get away with it. Like, I'll give you this, I'll give you sex for a gift. You're like, that's not a gift. Unlimited blowjobs, that's not an incentive.
It's gone.
Oh no.
Day.
It left.
It's going to come
Good,
back
too.
later.
It was going to be so good, I could tell.
Yep.
Yeah.
What were we talking about? Before the blowjobs, before the party, a week before.
The kids.
The kids.
The
kids.
kids.
With the adverse
Weaponizing
childhood
them,
experiences.
Yep, average.
That.
Yeah. Yeah,
Nothing.
no. Guess it
wasn't meant
moved
to
out
be.
like this next story.
Did he do that on purpose?
No, I didn't do it on purpose, but it was just
Okay.
smooth.
But I guess this is a tough one because usually my always advice is put more scrutiny on before you get married. Like try to really understand what both of you want before you get married. This might be different because she is like indoctrinated by TikTok about Tradwives and like people do change after the marriage. Like people grow and change and become different. But I'm like, maybe if there's something discussed before, like, do you want to be a Tradwife or not?
Oh, because he does go on to say that she was a stay-at-home mom before. When their kids were younger, she was a stay-at-home mom. I thought when I read it the first time, I thought that's what it said, but
I thought his mom was.
Yeah, I could have sworn it was his. Oh, another thing. There's no support system for him.
Oh, the bricks back.
No,
Oh,
it
yeah.
wasn't. It was. I still see it. It's mentally just. It's like a white. Everything. All the bricks are like red and like charcoal and stuff, and there's just a white space.
Oh my gosh.
But no, there's no support for him. Like no one is hearing him out or his side. Maybe because of he went so drastic, like immediate divorce.
yeah,
and
he was
everybody's
actually.
like, "Hey, yo, chill out." Like,
Yeah.
it's not that deep, but it's like, okay, there is some weight to what he's saying. Like, there's obviously a big reason as to why he's this upset.
He was actually voted the asshole.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
I was like, yeah, I don't think I would vote him the asshole. But I feel like maybe his family would be more on his side if he didn't immediately go to divorce.
Yeah.
Like if he went to his, like, this is crazy what she did, right?
Yeah.
I don't think we should get divorced, but hey, this is crazy. But he's immediately like left him like, I'm getting divorced. And the parents were like, whoa.
It's crazy. Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah, I'm going to get it. Hey, chill out. You don't, the divorce word is crazy.
Yeah. Because I feel like most parents, if they don't see anything bad happening to their kids, they're like, I don't want you guys to get divorced.
Maybe it is like an abrasive go home type thing. Like instead of it being like a abrasive, like go home, you're in the wrong, stop
Yeah.
doing it. It's like, no, go home, talk to your wife,
Right.
go home. You don't need to do this.
Does anybody here want to be a Tradwife?
No. What about you, Sam?
Yeah. No.
Actually,
me neither. I don't want to be a Tradwife.
I don't
think
mind it.
Brandon's trying to trick me
I don't want to be a Tradwife or
to
anything.
making him a Tradwife, and I'm like, I don't know if I want to. Sometimes I do think about being it like when I have kids.
Yeah.
Like I like the idea of being able to stay at home for like however long they're at home. Because we've had that discussion before where I'm like, I did try and be like, so what do you think about me? But I don't think I would ever not be able to do anything. Because especially I can do this wherever.
Yeah.
So I always feel like I probably will work. Because my parents are like both workaholics. So I just kind of like to work.
Do you ever think about that though? Like what we were talking about earlier, just a few seconds ago. Like if your significant other comes to you is like, I want to be a Tradwife or I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Have you ever like thought about it? Like, because I remember when me and Maddie were talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, I've already thought about it before. Like I literally think I've had a thought process where I'm like, okay, if Maddie ever wants to like just stay home, be a stay-at-home mom, like what do I have to do to like step myself up to be just perfectly fine?
Oh.
But like I've also thought like, okay, if she wants to work and stuff too, what am I going to do when we have kids? How's that going to work? I've thought about like so many pathways of what could go down. Have you ever did that?
Yeah, but in a way like I don't want that. It's because I have coworkers who I think they fall in that path of Tradwives. Like they're the only person working. Mm-hmm. They have the same job as me and they're supporting a family of people. And I'm like, I don't ever want to live like that. I'm like, I want to live beyond my, like, I want to have overflowing. I want to have more than enough. I don't want to have just enough and like that. So I'm like, the way I'm working now, that's not what's happening. Like, I'm fine for me. This is great for me. But imagining raising a family with what I'm making, I think it's possible, but it's like, it's a lot more work. You're doing a lot more things to make sure that everything's fine and working. And then you got all these other variables of their health and their things that could just go wrong. And you're like, dang, I have to have the money for that.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm not attracted to that. And the funny thing, I don't know the rabbit holes you get on Tradwives, because I've got on a couple with Tradwives. I don't think they're showing like the realistic Tradwives. Like the ones I see on TikTok are the ones that are like,
they're aesthetic.
They have nannies. They have maids. So I'm like, they're not even doing what the traditional, like what Tradwife is. They're just like, yeah, like I put a flower on my dining room table. You see a maid in there cleaning the thing and a chef fully cooking a dinner and stuff. And I'm like,
Garner out
you're
there.
rich.
So I'm like, exactly. You're
rich.
just rich and you don't have to do anything. So I'm like, are we even seeing like the real picture of like really traditional wives are like in the real world who are like, my husband makes $80,000 a year and I'm at home. So I have to make decisions that we can do things with that $80,000 for all of us to live. That's like a difficult thing, I think. We got 2 kids.
Yeah. Another thing that I think about too is, at least for me, seeing like family members kind of have that role where but the thing that frustrates me is it's like I've seen where the dad, it's a traditional family, but the mom works. So she has all the responsibilities of a Tradwife.
Yeah.
The dad doesn't, but the mom also works. And so when I look at traditional like wives, it really frustrates me, like thinking about me being in that position, just because I think the workload is really unfair. So even like if that were to happen with me and Brandon, I feel like we would have to talk about a fair amount of like workload and like what happens like when you get off work, where's my break because I was with the kids all day or I was cleaning the house all day. So like things like that, like Tradwives, like the real version of them, they frustrate me because I think the workload is really unfair, where now some men are like, hey, like I want you to stay at home, or like I want you to, cook clean for me or whatever. But then also the other thing too is like financial stability in myself. Like I don't necessarily like I don't really like the idea of being like having to ask somebody for money all the time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I'd rather just have my own money and be able to spend it the way that I want to spend it, compared to being like, hey, I want to go do this thing that's not financially responsible at all. Can I have money for that? And then you're like, oh, no, that's not in the budget. It's like there's a lot of control over like a person in a way, because you're like, I'm the one that makes the money that I just don't like the idea of. So I even if we did it for a little bit, I just don't know how often it would really.
Well, yeah. I think that also depends on how you do it, because I still feel like even in a Tradwife situation, the perfect situation, the money is still ours. It doesn't matter that I went to the job and did it. We're still deciding together what this money goes to and how it works. It might not actually work like that in the real world. Like, people might feel entitled. I know I've seen TikToks like there's men are like holding it over their wives. I'm like, well, did you make the paycheck? And I'm like, I think that's a ridiculous thing.
That's crazy.
Just because of a lot of things that Maddie brings up in a lot of the episodes of like all of that work that they're doing that's not being paid, that's just kind of behind the scenes in the home. Like, that contribute. Like, there's a reason why we can do half the things we are, is because I'm doing this myself. I'm actually taking care of the kids myself. That right there, childcare right now is like $30,000, $40,000 a year to take care of children. And just you taking that is like such a huge boon to our finances that it should be rewarded. It should be shown. So like, anybody using the money to dictate what their wife should do, I think is wrong. But I also think we should both have jobs, and we all should put it all together.
I agree. Yeah. So this next story, since Brandon's on a roll.
He is on a roll.
Brandon and Sam, the two over here on the couch. Because who had the first one? Was that
me?
So Brandon's on a roll.
Yeah, Brandon is on a roll. I didn't
Wow.
have any.
He's heating up.
He's him. Am I the asshole?
Him.
Am I the asshole for telling my pregnant 19-year-old daughter she needs to move out ASAP? My daughter, Rose, 19, was always a smart girl. She did well in school and got a full ride to a great school that is locally. She's been living with me and going to school and doing well. She got this new boyfriend a few months ago who I don't like. I can smell the bullshit. He constantly lets her down, but covers it up with a big smile and grand promises. Despite my warnings, they're still dating, and now she's pregnant. I offered to pay for the abortion and take a few days off work to take her and help her recover. She said no. She's going to marry her boyfriend, and they'll be one big happy family. He wants to move into my house, and she'll drop out of school while he works to support them. He's a bartender who doesn't go to college. I laughed at that idea, which made her mad. She told me that since he can't move in, I'll need to step up and help with the baby more. Y'all, she has always been a very sensible child. I don't know where this all came from. I flat out told her that if she thinks she's grown enough to have and raise a child and get married, then she needs to move out soon and manage being an adult with the child's father. I raised the one child I wanted. I do not want any more children living in my home. I told her I'd pay for diapers here and there, and I'd still visit her, but this baby is 0% my responsibility. If she chooses adoption, which I'm pretty sure she wouldn't, I'd be willing to help her navigate that. She won't talk to me. My husband, her stepdad, is staying out of this, but thinks I could help more. I told him he's welcome to go over and babysit for her, and that shut him up. Edit, I had my daughter when I was 19. I was married to her father, who was in the military. I still graduated college on time at the age of 22, and everything worked out well for us until he died in service. The fact that it worked out okay for me is clouding my daughter's judgment, I think. Her trashy boyfriend can't even offer her or her child health insurance. It's a completely different scenario. Also, so many of you are suggesting I still let her live with me and keep the baby. That is not happening. I do not want a baby in my home, period. And I'm not babysitting either. I'll do normal grandparent stuff like show up to birthday parties and buy gifts here and there, but that's it. Am I the asshole? I feel like I've come from this side of the story a lot where I'm like, parents should be supporting their kids as much as possible.
Yeah.
But when I was reading this story, I was kind of flip-flop on the other side, where if you're going to come with the expectation of potentially trying to now tell the mom what to do, of like, I'm going to have this baby, you're going to help me watch it. Or this man is going to come live with us and he's going to support me. It's like, did you forget that your mom owns this house? Like, not you.
Right.
I think in that
Audacious
sense,
of you.
yeah, I think in that sense, it's like, while I usually would say, and I still do agree to a certain extent, that you should try and help out your family as much as possible, she is offering solutions in her own way where she's trying to be helpful, but she's also setting a boundary where she was like, I don't want another kid in the house. And if you're going to have the baby, then you can't stay here anymore. And I think that's tough, but that's her boundary. And her daughter is expecting too much and audacious, too audacious.
The audacity.
Yeah, that's the big word, audacity right here. Yeah. She's like, it's like she's halfway acting grown. Like she's acting grown in the space of just making decisions. And it's like,
oh, that's not grown.
Yeah, that's why I was like, you're only halfway grown. You're only making decisions on things that you think that you can make decisions on, and not the decisions that you've actually made.
Right.
Like, you're having a child. That's your decision. You didn't have a place to stay. That's also your decision. You picked a guy that can't even offer your kid health insurance. Also your decision. You don't get to make the choices when it comes to someone else's household, though.
Yeah.
That's not your decision. You can ask. You can hope. You can even beg. But you can't make a decision that this guy is coming to live here. No.
Right.
Because you made the choice and the decision to sleep with them, and now you guys are in this scenario. And yeah, just the whole expectation. And I can understand too if maybe her mom was like, oh yeah, I'm always going to be there for you. Oh, well, like, you know, parents say that and stuff. But you shouldn't come with audacity, like with that expectation. Like you said, but it's like you're making adult decisions.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's your choice and you choiced out.
Maddie. I don't think the mom would have told her she had to move out until she just started being out of pocket, saying, oh yeah, he's gonna move in, I'm dropping out of school and we're getting married. And who else?
Yeah.
Not this one.
All right. Yeah, like, okay.
Well, it seemed like she was saying on business either way. Like,
Yeah.
there was never going to be the baby in the house.
True.
Yeah, I feel like, yeah, you're not the asshole. The only part I felt a little bit was, I don't remember if she like led with the abortion.
Yeah.
I didn't like that part. I'm like, I would be like, come to me with your decision, and then we can work through what that means. Like, if you're not giving up the baby for adoption, if you're not having an abortion, then this is how I can support you in that. It's not going to be at my house. I might help with diapers. I'm not going to babysit. I'm not even going to watch the kid, but I can do this, this, and this, and that's that. I don't think anyone should be dictated, because I feel like a lot of parents do that. We're like, well, yeah, I can help you with the abortion. Like, they just
automatically decide.
Yeah, just assume that and just say that. I'm like, I never like that. But it did seem like they moved on and like, okay, if you're keeping it, then that's how I would have started the conversation. I'm like, so what are you going to do about it? That's how I would have talked about it in the first, when I found out your problem. Like, so yeah, what's happening? What are you going to do? But you're not the asshole for setting the boundaries. If you don't want to have another kid in your house, you don't have to have another kid in your house.
It's always weird with these stories too, though, because I've seen some of the comments are like when we have like parent to child stories, and they're like, "Oh, this is like people bring up stuff where it's like I wouldn't even think about that." And there's some stories where it's like, you know, obviously none of us here are parents, so it's like we don't have any skin in the game when it comes to this type of stuff.
Sam has a kid.
Sam?
I didn't say anything.
It's a 2-piece. Mild.
Spicy.
But it's like, yeah, like, because each parent is completely different with every situation, especially when it comes to their child. Like, who knows? Like, this person might be fed up, or like, I'm used to this, but this is how I deal with my daughter on a day-to-day basis. And we're like, yeah, no, you're not. But it's like, I don't know. There's just so much that could go missing, or or stuff that probably would go over our heads just because we aren't parents. And I always wonder, like, after we're done with these stories, that's why I'm so curious and I read them because I'm like, what did I not think of? You know?
Oh, the comments.
Yeah, like I'm like, what? Like I said, we're nowhere near close to that point, but it's like, what are the things that we aren't seeing that could be blaring, or like someone could vote her the a-hole, you know?
Yeah, I always appreciate when people leave comments like about stories and like give their opinion, because it feels like there's like another person on the couch afterwards.
Yeah.
Especially when it's stuff that we don't think about or we clearly miss.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's actually a really good point. So
these stories are always hard though, because no one plans for this. This is not like you have a kid and you're like, this is how I plan for when my kid has a kid very young, and then they have the audacity to say they're doing this and this. It's hard to plan for that. So
you don't plan for that?
I never planned for it. So it's like, it's just how you specifically see families. Because there's some families who are like, that's my grandkid. I'm going to make sure that kid's taken care of. And if that means it's got to stay with me, it's got to stay with me. There's like, I know in my family, technically kind of in my family, like the mom didn't step up. So now the grandma has custody of the kid. And like, that's like, you're like, I would have never expected to do that when I raised you, but now I'm taking care of your kid fully, just taking care of your kid fully. Some people are like willing to do that. And some people are like, I would never do that. And so it's hard to like tell someone this is the right thing or you're the asshole. Like, you have to live with yourself at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And if that's something that you're comfortable with, then I ain't got nothing to say to you. I'm not going to say you're wrong or right either way.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see like how it plays out, like when the child is born.
Yeah.
Like, because you make this decision now, but it's like if you kicking it out puts a rift in the relationship, you can't be mad if you never see your grandchild, or it's like very limited access.
Yeah, but I think she is putting up like fair boundaries ahead of time. She's like, I want to be at the birthday parties, and I don't want to be distant, but I also don't want to be like that super involved grandma that like Sam's saying, I'm willing to do this, I'm not willing to do this. I don't want to babysit the baby. I'm okay with visiting the baby.
Yeah.
But like babysitting or doing other things. So
I'll never look at it in the eyes.
Never in the eyes. I don't want it to attack me.
Yeah. So
and she also refers to the baby as it.
Yeah.
Purposely.
Where is it? Make sure it doesn't look at me.
Is it in the bedroom? You're like, no, Mom, it's got to be here with us, and not it. She's
here. It's good for it.
Well,
I would tell her if I'm OP and I'm talking to the daughter, anything, I'm like, the only advice I can give you is get a new boyfriend.
Like this next story.
Man, I had one for that word.
Did you cut me off on purpose?
Yeah.
You knew it. You knew what I was about to do. Good, because I had one earlier with Brandon, super easy. I'm like, oh, well, I wonder where the boyfriend is. But then when I said, well, the second time, I was like, I don't know how to transition it.
Well, I thought he was going to do it because when he was talking the last time, he started smiling. And I'm like, why
I know.
smiling?
I thought he was going to do it.
And I thought he was going to transition. And then he did it. And I was like, oh.
I know. And then he actually just started talking about something like insightful and like towards
weird.
the point of the
smiling
story. Because I was like, yeah, well, you don't smile about insightful things.
This show is not about insight. It's about
guys,
bad act outs and
guys,
and opinions nobody asked for.
Yeah.
I'm tired. I'm sleepy.
Oh, okay.
And so when I get tired, like some people have a resting face.
Yeah.
I just lose control of my emotions. Like my emotional, like I'll be happy or like just like complete like, like what's wrong? And I'm like, I didn't even realize I didn't know I was smiling.
You were smiling.
I didn't think I was smiling.
You were
That's your thing.
Well, I have a resting smiling face too also.
You do.
You
actually.
do.
That's true.
You most definitely do.
Oh my gosh, you do.
So I was recently stalking Brandon on the internet, as girlfriends do. And I found something a little interesting, but mainly kind of alarming in Google Images. A lot of these photos not only had Brandon, but they had Brandon's actual friends and family, and even me. You never know who might be watching or trying to gather information. Now look, I know it's pretty normal for almost everyone to be online these days. And you can't completely erase your online history. But there are steps that you can take to protect your privacy. And that's where the sponsor of today's video, Aura, comes in. Aura helps you remove your personal information from the hands of people who shouldn't have it, like data brokers who sell your data without your consent. They also notify you of any data leaks, so you are aware of any risk and can take action to protect yourself online. It's crucial to be proactive about your online privacy, especially with the increasing frequency of data breaches. Just recently, AT&T revealed that over 73 million customer records were leaked on the dark web. And in situations like these, Aura has your back with comprehensive protection. You don't have to juggle multiple apps or worry about constantly monitoring your data. I value my privacy, and I value yours too. If you want to take control of your online privacy, head over to aura.com/comfort level to start your free 2-week trial today. The link is also in the description below. Let's work together to keep our personal information safe and secure. Thanks again to Aura for sponsoring this video. I love my boyfriend. I tagged for fun because this is more of an off my chest thing and none of the others applied. LOL. Me, 32, non-binary, and my boyfriend, 26 male, have officially been together since March, but have been dating since November. He's fantastic. He's very ambitious, caring, and giving to his friends. Incredibly supportive, honest, understanding, funny, great at listening and cooking, emotionally intelligent, and hardworking. I've struggled with relationships in the past, and so has he, but speaking for myself, I don't think I've had a relationship before that felt this healthy, both in communication and my own mental and emotional state. I'm not obsessively thinking about him. I'm not as clingy as I usually am. I haven't gotten jealous. If hours go by between texts, I'm not worried that he's giving me silent treatment for something. I'm not imagining what-if scenarios, and especially since we're long distance, just 2 hours, it's a pretty big deal to me how well I've been doing this time around. He's the first relationship I've been in since I've been out as non-binary, and he's reaffirming in that regard too. I realized last week his parents were out of town, so I came up on his day off after I got off work. I joked that I wanted an at-home wine and dine. I was expecting something small and simple, no wine, but maybe something else fun to drink, but he went to the extra mile. He actually bought wine and made me a whole 3-course meal, appetizer, entree, dessert. This is lazy for me, he said, while mixing up the pasta sauce. He was cooking from scratch. I could have cried. Cooking is one of my love languages, and it was more than any past partner had ever done for me before. I have no problem with telling him how I feel. He never shuts me down, so this is all in my head, but I'm worrying that it's too early and that I've made the mistakes before. I'm an adult, but feel like I'm navigating new waters because I don't have a point of reference for what's healthy and what's not, and I don't want to repeat mistakes. I could just be overthinking it, and it's not like I'm asking to move in together, but I also don't want to leave things unsaid after losing my dad in January and leaving a lot of unsaid things on the table. He's developing a tabletop role-playing game that we're playtesting tonight with friends, so I'm going to keep it in for now because I don't want to take away from his spotlight. The game sounds like it's going to be so much fun, and he deserves all the attention for it. Thanks for reading so far. So is this just like an appreciation post?
Yeah, but or they were asking, when do they say that they love their partner? Is it too
Oh, I did not
early?
catch that.
Given context, I can see the question.
I got on the CAT test. I got perfect score on the reading comprehension.
Okay, because they never clearly said that.
Yeah,
so.
but yeah, it's the gist of it. Come on, let's read between the lines. What'd you guys do on the comprehension? You take the CAT test?
Yeah.
What'd you get?
When I was in 6th grade?
Yeah.
Why would I remember that?
Why would I care to remember?
You didn't comprehend the score, I guess.
Breathe.
So I liked this post because it was like very nice. There's nothing bad happening. It's like a question that some people have, especially coming from bad relationships where you're like, I'm typically clingy. I'm typically like all up on my partner, but now I'm in a healthy relationship and I feel love for this person.
Yeah.
Am I being too much? Am I reverting to my old thing by saying I love you? Because I forgot how long they were dating.
Since
Officially
March.
since March, but they've been seeing each other since November.
Yeah, so
Complicated
so it's a couple months seriously, but a little bit longer seeing each other. Like, do you guys see there is like a time limit?
No.
To be like, to say I love you.
I don't know. I feel like it depends, but I think they're seeing all the green red flag. The green red
red
flags.
flags.
Red flags. Tell us about that.
Yeah.
What's a green red flag, Maddie?
My mind. They're seeing all the green flags.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's stuff that you need to see before. I don't know. It's like, I feel like I can't really help that much. I've only ever been in one relationship, and we've known each other for years before if anything, we waited too long.
Well,
You know what I'm saying?
for the love word for you guys, how long did that take to say?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Me neither.
I know that
It wasn't a big thing. Did it just slip out, or did
Like, who said it first?
there was one time we were together, and I think I said it too early, and Brendan said it back. And the moment I said it, I knew I was just saying it to like feel the moment. And he
so
said
you
it.
didn't feel it?
I thought I did,
Yeah.
but then when I said it, I was like, "Oh, I'm just saying it to say it." And I only know that now because when I said it the second time, I knew what it felt like.
Yeah.
But the way he even said it back, I was like, he doesn't. Like, he hesitated really hard.
Yeah.
But it didn't hurt my feelings because I was like, I am in the same boat. Like, I shouldn't have said that. But then I don't know how long the time had passed when it happened again.
I feel like it was like 2 or 3 days. It was not long, because I remember hesitating. I was just like, I was very subconscious about myself, because it's not that I didn't feel it. I did feel it, definitely. But I was like, it just felt like I sounded weird saying it.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't know. Like, yeah. And then, like being this is like my first serious relationship, like something that's like lasted long. The first time.
Romantic relationship.
No, I had another one, but it just didn't.
Well, you said your
fit.
first serious romantic relationship. Not like familial, like cousin relationship, which was serious, where you've shown love and you love that person before all this. Right?
I feel like this is one of those moments in the comments where people are going to get pissed because they're like, Brandon had a good point. And then Sam comes in basically trying to figure out if Brandon's in love with him.
Not in love with him, that he loves me.
I do love you, Sam.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
It's not a competition, Sam.
And I love you.
Thank you. I was waiting on it. It's like, come on now, don't let me
I
hang.
love you right back.
I mean, there was a little hesitation behind it.
My bad. Continue.
But yeah, it was like, I don't know, because even like after like saying I love you, and like, there were certain things I had to like learn. I realized I was not really open when it came to like my emotions. Like Maddie really had to push me out to like be like open and like talk about them when I feel them and stuff. And so like, to me, like saying love, like I only see it from the perspective of either familial or like rom-coms. And I was like, I didn't like rom-coms growing up. So I just felt like me saying it was like kind of corny. So then I was like, when I said it out loud, I was like, I mean, I feel it, but like, I don't know if I sound right saying it. And then after a while, it's just like, I don't know. Like when you start to really feel it, it's like, it doesn't matter. Like it's like
I don't
love
remember.
is such a beautiful word and such a beautiful feeling that like when you finally like say
Now
it,
he's a rom-com. You are a rom-com.
You are.
you turn into it.
You're
like,
just a rom now.
He's a rhombus.
Yeah.
but it's like you. So me and Sam came up with a new. Oh, Sam did. Sam came up with the new dance. The rhombus hit that.
Hit that rhombus.
The rhombus.
Hit that. Rhombus.
Because wait, do it again, Sam. You can't tell me his shoulders don't make him look like a rhombus.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I will say
I got
though,
put in timeout.
you talking about love and like what happened with us. But the second time it happened, I don't remember what happened, but I think it was like you were doing something actionable where I was like, I feel like I was like, you were doing something actionable
Rubbing your
and
feet.
I really appreciated it. No. And it just happened where like I genuinely had that feeling and I was like, oh, this is when I was supposed to say it. And yeah.
Well, what I want to ask you, because I like hearing both of your sides, but you saying you felt it was too early because that aligns with the story. I personally don't think there is a time of saying
I love you.
yeah, too early. I don't. There is maybe like the first day, like saying I love you. I think that's crazy. But I'm like, if you know someone for a while and you feel it, you should be able to express that. Especially with what they're saying, like they lost their father earlier. It is good to tell someone that you love them. And I don't see there's a reason of too early, like a month in, 2 months in, you're like, I feel love. And if it comes to me to say it and I say it, then it was meant to be. And not even to worry about what the other person says. Because there is the thing where like Brandon saying it like, oh, I love you too. Don't even overanalyze whether they mean it or not. It doesn't matter necessarily if they love you back. It's just me being honest in this moment. I love you and I'm telling you that. I know people still get hurt if they don't say it back or blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, don't focus on that part of it. Just focus on like, I love this person. I want to tell that person I love them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a nice thing to tell someone.
Because I really don't know how much of this I'm going to keep in. But it was one of those moments where I was like, I had said it at such a horrible time that when the second time happened, I was like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to be feeling when I say this. And like I show like, I love you, I appreciate you, and I want to say this to you because I genuinely feel like super warm on the inside. And this is how I should have felt when I should have said it the first time.
Yeah.
Not out of like uncomfortability and awkwardness, or like just to fill a moment to say it.
Yeah.
Which, I get that.
I agree with you though. I don't think there's a right or wrong time to do it. Cause like I said, or maybe there is, because even like then, like when I said it back, it wasn't necessarily that I felt it was forced. I just felt awkward saying it, like just period. So it was like, I just didn't think anything of it. And then besides me, like I knew what I was feeling. So I was like, okay, like I do love you. But I just, like I said, I just couldn't get over that mental block of physically actually saying I love you. Because, like even my parents, like and my sister, like we love each other. We won't say it all the time though. Like hanging up the phone.
My family says it all the time.
Like we say it 3 times
hang up.
before we hang up.
Yeah.
And me and my parents, I'm like, all right, I'll catch y'all later.
All right then.
All right then.
I did.
But it's like it's love, but it's not like me physically saying I love you. I would only tell my mom I would tell them I love them when I go to sleep, but that was like it. That was the only time I would say I love you.
Yeah.
So it's like I literally had to get over that block, but everything I was feeling was pure. It was right. It was love. I don't think there's a wrong time to say it.
Yeah. I think this is just one of those like personal things that's very particular to you as an individual.
Yeah.
Because some people can feel like, oh yeah, we've been friends for a while. I love all my friends. So I tell my friends like, oh, I love y'all, bye. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
So if you transition from that friendship to a relationship, can you still maintain that, oh, love you, bye, as a friend before you like in love and whatnot?
Yeah, well,
I think that's it's funny you saying like I love y'all, because there's like a difference.
It's like a casualness.
It's
a lot easier to say and receive like I love y'all compared to like I love you guys. For some reason, it's like it's a lot easier to digest because I'm like,
or I love you specifically.
Yeah.
Because I've like,
because I'm like, oh,
friends definitely, and I think I was closer to Brandon like in my early 20s where I'm like, there's friends I've been with people since I was like 19 years old. I'm 33 now. And now I can tell them directly, I love you, because I genuinely do love you. But like mid 20s where I'm like, I love these people. Like I want to spend time with them. I love these people. I'm not telling you I love you. Like, man, I love y'all. Like that would be the most thing I could do. I can never say to you, we're in a conversation and we hug, I'm like, I love you. I would never say I'm like, good bees, I love y'all, man.
Love y'all,
It's
man.
like, I'm only one person here. I'm like, I love y'all, man, and then run away.
Wait, but Jill, you said something and it made me think. People also underestimate. This sounds so corny saying it. They underestimate the power of love. Love has levels to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
It
different
is.
types of love.
True.
I have so I think that transition piece, that is something to talk about, because it's like having, like in our situation, we did have to wait a little bit.
Yeah.
Because it was a different type of love that was being developed.
Exactly.
Trying to
versus-
figure out if the transition was for both of us of like, is it, what is it? Agape is like romantic love. Like, is it actually agape love, or do I love you as a friend?
Yeah.
Brother.
Oh, okay.
Brotherly love.
Yeah, brotherly love.
That's one of the levels.
Yeah.
It's like brotherly love, friend love.
Yeah.
Then
Like,
like
that. You're not brother and sister. Right?
I know.
And I also think it's
think we
okay
are.
for people to give like that disclaimer before they say it. Just like, yeah, you don't have to say it back, but I'm in love with you.
See someone saying like that, I'm
Well,
like,
that's the insecurity. Like that's I think when people couch it like that, you're like, yeah, I just want to tell you, like, I love you.
I
You
love
don't have to say it back.
you.
It doesn't matter for you. Blah, blah, blah. You're like, don't even
worry
stress
about
on
it.
that. Don't even worry about
Just
that.
like,
they know
hey,
business for love.
say,
Yeah.
baby, I love you.
Right.
Boom.
Boom. Love.
Love. Let's go.
If you do it, I like it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Boom.
Boom, love, peace.
But I can see from OP side where they come from a history of bad relationships, of being clingy, probably being insecure with themselves, and that's probably why they've been the way they've been in relationships. To be like, I don't know what normal is. I don't know if it's fine. Maybe I'm just
Oh yeah.
repeating
Yeah.
the same things I've done of immediately latching onto a person because it feels nice immediately and it's better than.
so if
That's the thing.
that's what that is, then maybe even though you feel it now, wait until it's stronger, I guess, OP, because even though you know now, there's not necessarily like a rush or a reason for you not to say it.
That's true.
If you think it might spook them a little bit, then just give it some time before you say anything and figure out, like, because as time will go on, it'll get stronger or it'll dull out, so you'll know. And I'm sure you know right now, just because of the actions that they're giving you, you're like, oh my gosh, like, I do love him. But just wait for confirmation as time goes on. Or I would say kind of do like what I think Jill was saying, where you're like, you're casual about it. You know, it's like kind of just be ready and become more comfortable as time goes on, because it'll be awkward at first, but being like, yeah, I love you. You know, like, this is, thank you so much. I love this. You're so great. I love this. And then switch to, you're the best. I love you. Like, just stuff like that. Because then it comes easier to say, to where maybe he might say it back, or, you know, who knows? It's just you're expressing where you're at in the relationship already, where you're like, I do love you for doing this. Thank you for doing this.
Or you could be a little slick with it and start like giving some compliments and be like, oh yeah, I love who you are as a person. Or something slick like that. Just ease it in there.
Yeah.
And then see how that transfers to.
I love you as a person. Minus the person.
Minus the
Even though I
person.
do have a question for OP, because there was one red flag for me, was like they were having a tabletop. He was planning a tabletop thing.
He's creating a game.
Yeah, he's creating a game, and they were like, well, I don't want to say it now because I don't want to take away.
His spotlight.
I'm like, how are you going to do it, OP?
Yeah.
You're going to be like, attention,
Everybody.
everybody.
Everyone.
I love my boyfriend. Commence with the games. Because I'm like, if that's what you're doing, OP, you are being over the top.
Am I the asshole for robbing my wife's affair partner, which has now led to his divorce?
Robbing?
I, 32 male, have been married to my soon-to-be ex-wife, 30 female, Madison, for 4 years. We're currently in counseling, but it is not going to work. About a year ago, I found out she was having an affair by coming home to their clothes in our living room and sounds coming from our bedroom. I lost it. I was getting my cricket bat out of the front closet.
Cricket
Oh
bat
my
is
God, what-
insane.
Kind of person are you?
When I stopped to think about consequences, I did not want to go to jail. Instead, I took all their clothes and left quietly. I went to a friend's house, but not before throwing all the clothes in a McDonald's garbage can. I turned off my phone and I got shit-faced with my buddy. His wife hosed us off in the morning. After I turned my phone back on, I had dozens of calls and texts from Madison. First scared because she got my updated flight information, then upset that I hadn't called her to let her know I was going to be coming home early, then freaked out that the house had been broken into, then crazy because she figured out it was me. Then they got more deranged. The guy she was with is 5 inches shorter than me and is about 60 pounds lighter. So if he has taken my clothes, it would be obvious. He ended up calling his friend to get his spare keys from his house. Unfortunately for him, his wife smelled a rat and followed his friends back to my house, where she saw him leaving in oversized clothes. Long story short, she took pictures and she had evidence of his infidelity, which caused their prenup to be canceled, which cost him a lot of money. It's all one big giant shit show. It took a couple of months, but my wife convinced me to try and forgive her. We started going to counseling and we were working our way through it until recently. In a counseling meeting, she said that I was wrong to steal his wallet, phone, and car keys. She said that his divorce is costing him a lot of money and that I should have dealt with it in a more mature manner and that it was my fault. I never admitted to taking his stuff. To begin with, I was afraid he might call the cops. Then I didn't want to give her ammunition in case she wanted a divorce. Now I just don't care. I told her that her cheating was the reason for her boyfriend getting divorced. And I hope that his ex takes everything. I'm still not living at home. I have my own apartment and I'm filing for divorce. Now that I know how she feels, it's kind of like a slap in the face that she's blaming me for his divorce.
Yeah, immediately not the asshole. And she's in love with her boyfriend. She don't even like you, dude. That's tragic. Divorce her immediately. You tried.
Expeditiously.
He tried. He went to counseling, and then in counseling, she proceeds to say that he was wrong.
I wonder what the therapist thinks about.
That's what did it for you.
Well, it was the wallet and the
wallet
phone
and the
car
keys. As if you both aren't married. Like, forget the cheating part. Why'd you throw his keys in the garbage? And his phone?
That reminds me of there's like some joke. I can't remember what the two things were, but they were like, "Oh, they got this new crazy drug out here. It's meth and peanut butter." And you're like, "Well, meth's doing the primary work and being the drug part, and that other thing's added on." Like, the stealing is only a part of the thing. If you just stole the clothes and there was no cheating, they would be together right now. It was the cheating part that was the real problem. It wasn't the clothes missing that she's like, I got the ick when I saw him in oversized clothes. It's over. You're like, no, it's because you cheated on me. That's why I'm getting a divorce. That's so wild.
Mm-hmm.
I think the better petty revenge would have been to steal the clothes and stuff, but put the keys somewhere in like plain sight. So when they're like panicking to find all the stuff, it's like, oh, it was right here this whole time.
And you're like, I know I didn't put that in there. Or I didn't put that there.
Yeah.
You guys had a pretty big reaction to the cricket bat.
Yeah. Because the cricket bat is crazy. It's like...
That's the craziest part of the story. You guys are like, oh my God.
It's just funny to me. I don't know anybody who plays cricket, so that's what surprised me.
A regular bat, it's like, okay, yeah, that's going to do damage. But the cricket bat is like wide. The same, and it's wide, it's flat and thick.
That's going to hurt your skin once it slaps you. You're like, ah.
You got a XL paddle.
That's embarrassing. If I'm like, I'm getting it in, I'm like, and I see the door open, a dude come with a cricket bat, this is the end of my life. Because I'm embarrassed. I'm not going to say what happened out of that.
Imagine you in line in hell because you're cheating. So it's like, how'd you go out, man? It's like, dude, I got hit with a cricket bat mid-stroke.
I'm lying.
We're out of here.
Yeah.
Or actually, they don't even ask you. They're like, cricket bat, huh? Because they just see a huge red cricket bat mark line in the back of your
it's
back.
It's stuck in you.
You have a flat face now. You have a flat face from the cricket bat.
It's all little and squished.
Pug face. I know that
Yeah,
one.
you got cricket
batting,
man. You
didn't
got cricket batting. We're like, how common is that? They're like, yeah, I do all the time. Actually.
It's actually the highest way to go in our country.
Cricket bats is the highest way to go.
Yeah.
That's like, okay.
Highest rate of death. Yep.
So I'm less embarrassed now.
You should be more embarrassed though, because it was in the front of your head. Like usually
Who
they
gets
just
hit in the front? You saw it.
You turn around and say, oh.
You can move. You saw it.
just don't die from it, maybe.
But are we actually missing out? Should we have that for our defense of our homes?
I'm looking into it now.
Now I'm
cricket
I
bat.
ain't got a cricket bat. Maybe I need to get one. Because I would be terrified. If I saw a gun and a cricket bat, I think I'm more scared of the cricket bat.
Because I'm like, I know what a gun can do, but I don't know what a cricket bat
I
can do.
don't know what that thing can do.
And that's what scares me.
Because I've never watched a game of cricket.
Because I feel like a lot of Americans were like, they point the gun out and they're like, take me. I've been waiting to go. I can't pay my bills. You know, but the cricket bat, it's like, it looks like one of those like bats that they use when they haze you, like in college.
A paddle.
Yeah.
The frats. It actually probably might be exactly like that.
But I commend him for not like beating the man with the cricket bat. Instead, just dumping
It would have
her.
been murder. Like he would have been going to jail for murder.
He said, no blood on my
Hey,
hands.
but shout out to Short Kings. He took your girl.
That's really why he was mad.
Yeah, that's really what he's mad. He's like, you gonna cheat on me with this short?
5 inches
You don't have to
shorter,
say that in the story. That didn't have to
60
be a part of
pounds lighter.
it. Yeah, that was something you
I
added.
had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, that's something you added to that.
And he also named dropped Madison.
Yeah, it better not be her name. Don't put Madison's name out there.
He did it.
Madison's just like sleeping with Cody Co or something. And
Why Cody Co?
because he's a short king.
I know, but he wouldn't
Cody.
do this. Hope
Yes, he
not.
would.
Yeah, I guess him and Noelle are both together.
They're
with
very
like,
good together.
they're like both with their significant others though.
I don't trust. I guess that doesn't matter. I don't trust any influencer anymore.
Yeah.
I don't either. This is gonna get cut out, but I also heard that Cody Co like hooked up with Tana Mojo, like or whatever her name is,
As he should.
like when she was like 17
Oh,
and he
that's
was like 25.
possible.
Oh, that's
Okay, that's
that's
Like
what-
when when she
That's
first was
pedophilia.
blowing up and they did a few videos together. Like apparently there's rumors because apparently he doesn't like talk to her. They don't talk to each other at all.
Yeah.
But like Tana Mojo talks to a lot of people in the community, and so does he. But
Yeah.
they do not talk like at all together. Like I don't know what I'm saying. Words are hard to
That's
like
a weird one
create.
to say.
Maybe YouTube's the new Hollywood.
I hope not because we're on
It
it.
is. I hope we're getting it. Because I'm not even like a person who wants to hook up with people or do any of that stuff.
You
If
want the
Tana
money?
Mojo was there, I'm not going
No,
to.
stop. Julie Chen Moonves.
All right, so this next story is: am I the asshole for dumping my girlfriend after she expected me to pay for everyone on her birthday?
Yeah. No,
No.
not the asshole. Not the asshole.
Nope.
Nope.
I, 24 male, and my girlfriend, 24 male, have been dating for 4 years. On my girlfriend's 24th birthday 2 weeks ago, I booked a table at a pretty nice restaurant for me, her, and 4 of her friends. I want to clarify beforehand that I earn quite a bit more than my girlfriend. I cover all the rent and utilities for our apartment, while she covers household expenses like groceries and such. While at the restaurant, I noticed how she and all of her friends ordered some of the most expensive things on the menu at the time. I thought I would only be covering mine and my girlfriend's bill, so I wasn't really concerned. When the bill arrived and the waiter asked if I would like to split the bill, I said yes. I told the waiter that I want my girlfriend and I orders to be on me, and the rest would be decided between her friends. The bill totaled around 1,100 euros.
Woo!
$1,178. So it's about the same. I remember the smile being wiped off their faces as soon as I said that. I ended up paying for my
course.
girlfriend's and my food while her friends paid for theirs. I remember the car ride home being awfully silent. I kept asking my girlfriend if something was wrong, but she kept insisting that she was just tired. And no, she wasn't just tired. My girlfriend ended up giving me the silent treatment for the next week.
Dang.
We?
Over food?
I would keep asking her if something was wrong, but she would always refuse to say what the issue was. The thought of me not paying, being the culprit, kept creeping into my mind, but I would always reassure myself by telling myself that my girlfriend wouldn't be dumb enough to expect me to pay for everyone's food. I just lost it last Monday and demanded an answer from her. She ended up telling me that I embarrassed her in front of her friends by not paying for everyone. I asked why it was my responsibility to pay.
Right.
She told me that since I organized everything and I was the man, I was obliged to pay for everyone. We ended up getting into a heated argument, and I ended up staying at my parents' house for the next couple of days to gather my thoughts. I came home last Friday, and her attitude towards me didn't change one bit. When I confronted her again, she told me to transfer the money her friends paid for the food, and only then would she talk to me. We got into another heated argument, and I broke up with her then and there, telling her to pack her things. While leaving, she called me a broke boy and wished me good luck finding another girlfriend with my brokey mentality. I almost immediately regretted dumping her on the spot for something that, in the grand scheme of things, is really small. She sent me an apology yesterday for calling me those names, but insisted on me paying for her friends if I wanted to make our relationship work. I have been a mess since. I don't want to throw away 4 years with somebody I consider to be the future mother of my kids. I could have given her friends a heads up that I wouldn't be covering them, and I know that's completely my fault, but her behavior over the past 2 weeks has also been quite concerning to me. But again, I love her too much for this situation to be the end of our relationship. I just want to swallow my pride and send her friends the money and forget about everything. Am I the asshole here? Did I overreact? Should I apologize and send her friends the money?
No, and no.
What's love got to do with it? Got to do with it.
But a second-hand emotion.
Thank you.
Not Jill's lips. She's like,
Oh my gosh. The one thing that's making me so upset about
broke
this
boy.
Broke boy?
story
Brokey.
is
brokey.
that, okay, we went out to lunch today with a friend. It was me, you, and the friend. We all three set it up, and we all paid.
Yeah.
Just fine. A couple weeks ago, I spontaneously made the plan to go out with a couple friends to lunch. Considering the circumstances, I paid for it just because it was both their birthdays. It happened to be both their birthdays at the same time. So I was like, I got you.
Yeah.
Merry birthday. I planned it. I paid for it. We went out yesterday. We all three planned it. And we all three paid. There's no obligation when you set it up. That's what I'm getting at. What is this? What do you mean? You're the man and you set it up, so therefore you pay. No. We are all on our own.
Then I feel if you go out with people, you should never go unless you can pay for yourself.
You should be ready to pay for yourself.
Stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
1,000%.
Baby, you about to go wash some dishes. Because no.
Because it's nice if someone's like, I will pay for you. Like, well, I had the money, now I don't have to spend it. Like, that's nice. They offered. But you expecting, they're like, give us that. Who cares the price? Give us that. You're like, that's how you're living life?
It was
Enjoy
nice.
the consequences.
It was nice of him to say like, oh, I probably could have gave him a heads up, but you're not obligated, sir, at all. And this really just showed the mentality of your ex-girlfriend a little bit. I would consider it like a lesson learned and more time saved. Right. I know y'all were together for 4 years, but this shows her as a person. It's like, do you want to continue 4 more years with her with that type of mentality? And she's like hard on, like, you got to pay these girls this money. She's standing
on it.
Like, are they bullying you in the group chat or something?
2 weeks later, she's still saying it.
Like, it's not like she apologized and she's like, that was wrong. You don't have to pay. She's like, well, if you want us to get back together, you still have to. He's like, really?
She said, send me money for their bill.
Send me the money.
And there's an ultimatum right there.
Brandon hates ultimatums.
Ultimatum. Don't do it. Just take your losses and go.
Yeah, they just like,
what is it? Sunken cost?
Yeah.
Sunken cost fallacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I'm like, 4 years, it sucks that I spent that much time and I'm finding out now, but now I got to get out. I'm not going to put more time. It doesn't matter. You know what kind of person she is now by how she's acting. Because not even just the situation, because you could move on technically from that situation.
Yeah.
But the whole broke boy thing like that, and especially in the situation where he's paying for the rent and like expenses, she's paying for household expenses. So like she's living in a house that he's paying for. That's broke boy mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're so young. Like y'all both you're 24. She just turned 24. Y'all been together 4 years, so y'all in your 20s when y'all got together. Yeah. Y'all are kids still. Y'all got so much life to live. That 4 years means nothing.
That could have been nice.
It was a good time. We're here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah. Move on. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
But I trust you. There are women who are out there who, from what he described, would be happy to be in that situation.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm sure he'll find someone else. It'll be fine.
That will deal with his brokey mentality.
Yeah.
That's not brokey at all.
It's not brokey at all.
I deal with it. Pay my rent.
Because it'd be different. I was thinking like maybe the situation's like they go there and he was like, okay, can you and the friend split my girlfriend's thing with me? We're splitting her thing like 5 ways between the friends. I'm not paying for my girlfriend fully. We all participate in this. That's a little broke boy behavior. If he had proposed
like,
that.
Specifically for him and his girlfriend?
Yeah. Well, because you know, like when you go with your friends on the birthday and then you all split, sometimes you all split the birthday person's thing. You're like, oh, we're all just chipping in. Like if he had said that for the girlfriend, like all the friends are chipping in to pay for her meal. That's broke boy mentality.
I think it's also annoying that there was no compromise. They all just expected him to pay. Not like just like to like splitting up the bill like just evenly, even though I don't know, even doing that I'm like I would rather just everybody just pay, like just pay your own bill. There's no need to complicate this and make it one big bill just to split it up and like you have to Venmo me and you have to Zelle me because you don't like Venmo and then you have to cash at me and then I'm getting like money from 5 different places just because y'all just didn't want to split. I don't like splitting bills either, but yeah. Why didn't you just split the bill? Like other people do it.
Well, even the biggest thing too is she tried to like give him like the silent treatment for a week.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like that's horrible.
It's
like,
childish.
are you throwing a fit?
Yeah.
I mean, it speaks to what Jill said. You guys are kids. If that's the way that she's dealing with a situation that she doesn't like, is silent treatment the moment it happens. Not even being like, hey, maybe this wasn't right, but I expected you to pay for all of them, and you embarrassed me. It took her a week to say that. So he's over here stewing, because getting the silent treatment is like the worst thing in the world.
Yeah.
And then y'all live together.
Yeah.
Especially for a week.
Yeah, because how can you work on what you did wrong, whether you did wrong or not,
right? If
you don't know what you did wrong? And I'm like, you're treating me like a freaking child.
Yeah.
Booty's and even that's bad. I'm not saying silent treatment is ever good, but the way that you're treating me is it's crazy. It's a horrible way to deal with the situation. So,
but these are like some of the trials you go through in your dating, courting phase. Like will show how we can overcome adversity if we decided to go get more serious, become married. This is like a test. And you failed the test badly.
Terribly.
You did not do good at this test.
You didn't even study.
It was awful. So I'm out. You failed.
Mm-hmm. It's one of those things that he sees and he knows.
But he's in love.
I just feel like my boyfriend, or in his case, his girlfriend, shouldn't be counting his pockets. That's just something that gives me the ick. Like, why? It gives me the ick. Why are you counting my pockets?
Right.
Don't do that.
Yeah.
Could I have paid for it? Yes, but why are you counting my pockets?
But she's definitely getting bullied.
The group chat is lighting her up.
Crazy. I bet you they're all single. They're like, if I was dating a man, he would have paid for all of it. Like, that's why you're single.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is
now your homegirls got you single.
Yeah. Now we're going to be single together.
Why is he considering going back?
Because he loves her and he's like wrapped up in this thing, and he's probably hearing from her like, it's not that big of a deal. Some people
you can work through it.
You can work through that.
Well, because I would say at the beginning, the first story that we did, it's similar vibes, but I feel like we were vehemently against it because they were married and they had kids.
Yeah. Yes.
So is that a big factor where it's like, okay,
it is.
Because you're not married because you don't have kids, this is an easy thing for you to get out of because this might continue in the future.
100%.
Yeah. Because what was the first story even about?
It was about the husband
she quit her
and
job.
the wife.
Yeah.
I mean, Yeah.
But for me,
it's like similar.
that is the line.
Yeah.
Marriage is the line. It's like when I make it legal and there's a document and we made a vow to each other to stay together, there is going to be more work before we end this. But when we're boyfriend and girlfriend, we're trying this out and seeing if this can work. And if it can't, then I'm out. And there's less of a barrier to leave. So I do see a difference. If this had happened when they were married. I would try like, hey, let's
find some type of compromise in this.
Yeah.
But if I even got to get into a more serious thing, if I can just get out of this easily, then yes.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you get to choose. You get to choose who you're going to be like in that next step where it would be hard.
Exactly.
Why not choose something that's someone that's like easy?
Sorry, it seemed like you were checking out the whiteboard pretty hard.
No, my cord.
What was that smirking for 2 minutes ago?
Let's not turn against each other.
Was that smirking for 2 minutes ago?
Because you looked at the whiteboard.
I didn't do anything with it though. Usually, like you were about to do something with it.
No,
come on, guys. Let's not fight.
Because when you look at the whiteboard,
oh my god,
oh my gosh,
it's like she's going away from the mic.
Don't do it,
not
Maddie.
trying to
Don't do it.
Sorry, I was acting like a boomer. Like this next story.
You got it. Maddie
He said boom it. I said boomer.
No, I said boomer,
and I was giving boomer energy.
Like
boomer.
said boomer right before you said it.
Yeah.
You guys are.
It's serious. I'm gonna die. She's gonna kill me if I do that again.
So this one's from a new subreddit.
Ooh.
r/boomers being fools.
Yes.
I'm in. I just found my new favorite subreddit. Let's do it.
My boomer dad is pissed that I won't give him my baby's social security number.
What?
My dad is pissed.
That's right. My dad thinks I should just give him my kid's social security number like it's no big deal. He just wants to start a bank account for my little guy. Sounds harmless, but my parents suck at taking care of their finances. They have been bankrupt at least once and bailed out every few years by my grandparents while they were still living. When I moved out at 20, I found out they had overdue utility bills in my name, so I couldn't open up any accounts for my first apartment until I paid it off for them. They took money from me as a minor while I was working at my first job and emptied $1,500 from my savings account and never paid it back to this day.
Oh my God.
I don't trust them at all. Parents have been hounding my hubby and I for weeks, if not months, and we've been politely dodging it. My parents started getting pissy. I politely told my dad/parents that baby already has a savings account and they can contribute to that if they like. Boy, do they flip the fuck out. Demands baby social security number and starts calling us names. I flat out say no at this point. I tell them they don't need a social security number to open a savings account in which baby is the beneficiary. They counter that they do. Then they proceed to tell me my baby won't receive any money from them until they get it. I don't care. Pretty sure they don't have shit anyways besides the inheritance money after my grandparents die that they're literally smoking through.
Oh.
My dad even had grandpa change his will less than 6 months before his death, showing signs of dementia. My grandpa, right before he died, asked me what my dad had him sign and showed me the new will asking me to translate it. It was leaving us grandkids out, and dad was the sole proprietor, executor, and power of attorney. Everything was changed. No point in contesting it. Hubby and I want to cut ties and move far away anyway. We could care less about $10,000 to $15,000. Just more ways they abuse money and positions of power. I called one of the top 5 nationwide banks in the U.S., and they say you don't. Either way, it's not happening. They tried to corner my husband behind my back, and he didn't budge either. The anger continues. Snide comments at every holiday so far. And baby's birthday is coming up. I don't care. My idiot brother dolled out his kid's social security number without consent from his wife or thinking about it. My parents say I don't trust them. Yeah, no shit. Someone with good intentions doesn't get this angry.
Not the asshole immediately.
Yeah, isn't that a crazy story? Because it's like, sadly, I do know people that have used their kids' freaking social security number to get like either like a new line of credit or like they'll put something out in their name and then they find out about it when they get older and their credit's completely jacked up.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I would be like befuddled too. I'm like, why are you asking for my kid's social security
You're
number.
literally a criminal.
Yeah, your dad is a criminal and he has a consistent pattern.
Right.
Like,
And he's getting mad at you. I'm like, I'm just trying to protect myself from your criminality.
yeah,
Trying to set up a savings account. You don't have money to set up a savings account.
exactly.
Yeah, with what money? You're like, I'm just looking out for my grandkids.
And most grandparents just be like, hey, put this to the side. Here's some money for the kid.
Or they just keep their own account and then
Yeah.
just give it to them at the end. Like, why does it have to be in their name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they can just be the like you said, the beneficiary later.
Right.
Because baby is about to get a new credit card without knowing.
Yep.
That's what's
Capital
happening.
One. With the 30% interest rate.
Yeah, because the baby has no credit. So
Yeah.
they're, like,
Well, the baby's cousin already has a credit card out. Boss baby.
they're buying gifts for
And that
this baby
baby.
with the other cousin's credit card. They're like,
Yeah.
charge it on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's actually pay this card off
Yeah.
with that card.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
These
Yeah.
parents sound awful.
Yeah.
And just to make you feel trying to make you feel guilty about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Give us this. And what's this dumb brother? Was he not? What's he
Was
doing?
he not around?
Yeah, was he not around? Did he not get?
Did he not get raised by the same
Because I
parents?
know they had to use his social security. They didn't just use yours.
If I
They
was the
used
wife, I'd be
everybody's.
pissed.
I'd be so. You're an idiot. Why would you do that?
That's like the most like important thing ever that you're like, you do not tell anybody this ever. And the fact that
He just willy-nilly gave it.
wow, well, 2 hours and 53 minutes later. Thanks, Jill,
Of
for
course.
coming to
Jill,
the Comfort Level
you're the
podcast.
best.
Anytime.
I don't
Do you
think
mean
you were
that?
ever on probation, by the way.
I don't think
Oh,
either. That
really?
was Maddie's idea, and I was against it.
No.
No, he's throwing
She
you
gaslighting
Oh,
is
it's a
insane.
trial period. I was like, I don't know if it's a trial period. I think she's an amazing guest. So
You two are matching.
Sure, Sam.
we are.
You and Brandon?
two.
Yeah.
Oh, we are.
You two.
You and Brandon.
Oh, me, him.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah.
So are y'all.
No.
This is black and green.
Opposite
No.
flip.
It's like a teal.
Two
Never mind.
totally
'Cause we're the
different
same.
colors.
Yeah.
We're flip too.
Well, it's not
I
the
appreciate
same
you saying
shade.
that.
Yeah,
You
we're not the
tried,
same
though.
shade. So it's
Those
like
are closer than these.
no, they're
Yeah.
not. They're like the same. I
No.
think, and those are still greens, and mine is red.
This is
And
like
This is
a,
like a
No, that's a
cross
maroon.
between
This is like a
green and
rich
yeah,
blue.
candy
We'll see you
red.
guys
we're
next
just
week.
as different as you
Thanks for
two.
coming
that
to the
is
show,
not
and
candy red.
we'll see you
That's
guys.
actually you're gaslighting.
I said
us.
it's
This
like a-
is
Bye,
like
guys.
the exact same thing. We are mirrored
This is a rich candy.
because I'm wearing a comfort level hoodie.
maroon, teal,
And then Maddie,
forest green,
Maddie, look. Can we cricket
rich.
that?
Keep that thing. Little.
And scene and cut. You make that noise when
yeah.
there's something wrong with the camera, so I was like,
Not me. Oh, I said, ooh,
Yeah, you just say, ooh.
they're the same to me.
That's, oh.
oh, and then ooh, oh, it's like alarming,
Yeah,
like oh, you know what I'm saying? And the oop is like,
What is happening? Why is it the perfect synchronization?
cause that's my cousin, man.
That's my cousin, man.
Cousins.